I want to welcome you to our session where we are going to discuss the renewable energy transition, and in particular, the opportunities that exist for women and the youth within the renewable energy transition. And this in particular, we want to talk about transboundary opportunities that exist within the transition across the East African community. As an organization, EACREEE has a mandate to promote renewable energy and energy efficiency within the East African community. And much of our discussion will center around the opportunities that exist cross-border within Uganda as well, but an emphasis with what will Uganda benefit as a nation from opportunities that exist perhaps across Kenya, across Tanzania, and not only that, but also renewable energy opportunities that exist even from countries like the Democratic Republic of Congo, Burundi, and the like. So that will form the gist of our discussion today. And we are happy and privileged to have the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of East African Community for the Republic of Uganda, Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, with us. So I'd just want to welcome EACREE's Executive Director, Canon Godi Muhangamuzi, to give his remarks and particularly talk about, give just a brief synopsis about EACREEE and what we've been able to achieve so far.
Thank you very much. Me at times I feel my tongue twists when I'm addressing Right Honorable Kadaga. I was going to say Right Honorable Speaker because she's my favorite speaker ever. And more so that now she's our Minister for the East African Affairs. She's doing a lot to make sure that Uganda finds its place and a meaningful place and an impactful place in the East African region. Right Honorable Kadaga and the ambassadors present and representatives of our funders and other foreign dignitaries, our development partners present, representatives of women and youth, and distinguished media representatives, because you play a big role. I'm delighted to share with you a brief on the East African Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency. It is a body that was established in 2016 by the East African community with the support of UNIDO, as I have said in the area, and that's why I alluded to that fact of trying to dwell into who we are and who is doing what. By the UNIDO and the ADA, Australian Development Agency, to promote renewable energy and energy efficiency in the region. EACREEE works towards this mandate through regional policy harmonization, knowledge management, investment, promotion, awareness, and capacity building. We also do research development and innovation for enhanced adoption of renewable energy and efficiency. Over the last 8 years, EACREEE has achieved the following. We have developed the regional policies and frameworks, standards, and labels. We pride in the main standard and label called MEPS, Minimum Energy Performance Standards, for lighting and cooling. And I'm glad to say that this has already been adopted by the EAC, and some partner states have already incorporated it in their policies. We have also done renewable energy policy, which is, and then framework, and we are on increasing transboundary trade of renewable energy products and services. We have also done the East African Energy Efficiency Policy, which was validated in August 2024. And we have also done Renewable Energy Master Plan for the EAC. but we are still doing the fundraising to make sure that we finalize with it. We also have the technical capacity building, smart grid, small hydropower, and solar PV trainings that we have conducted across the EAC region. We also have created awareness and network building in the EAC region, especially on clean cooking network. We have conducted workshops on topical issues in e-mobility and then energy in displacement settings. We have one of the projects which is sponsored by European Union called Energica, and it is centering at e-mobility, but it is centered in Nairobi, Kenya. We have also done training on e-waste management guidelines for the ESCOs, energy service companies, and even super ESCOs, and we are grateful that this has been achieved. Colleagues present, you have heard what we cannot enumerate or what we have done and finish them. But I would like to say that opportunities still exist in all the above areas that you have had in the East African region. Therefore, I urge you, the youth and women present, who form the majority of the EAC population, to seek for opportunities beyond our normal borders. Whether you are talking about clean cooking, electric mobility, productive use of energy, energy access in displacement, and green hydrogen, among others, we need to keep exploring and look beyond our borders. That's when we shall have total benefit or full benefit of what we are supposed to do. Today, EACREEE has assembled a balanced panel that will discuss, or with discussants from, among others, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, South Sudan, and Democratic Republic of Congo. I thank our partners, the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development of Uganda, and the ministries of energy of the respective countries, especially the permanent secretaries, really. They have given us, and commissioners, they have given us all the support that we need. And in the same vein, I'd like to thank the Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga. She has promised us, those of you in EACREEE, that we have to make sure that we access what we want and to ensure that EACREEE will be institutionalized. I want to continue to thank the National Renewable Energy Platform for organizing this auspicious event. May God bless you. On this, I take the singular honor on this note to welcome the Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, the Deputy Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, and the Minister of the East African Affairs to address us.
Thank you very much, and members of the diplomatic corps, our development partners, and all invited guests. I'm happy to be here today to address the 2024 Renewable Energy Conference and Expo, and happy that the theme is renewable energy transition towards boundary opportunities for women and youth. And I want to thank the East African Center of Excellence for Renewable Energy and Efficiency for putting together this convention and for the work done over the last 8 years. Let me also thank the Ministry of Energy for spearheading dialogue on the key issues in accelerating sustainable energy through the platform of renewable energy conferences like this, among others. The East African community has developed a Vision 2050, which seeks to transform partner states into upper middle income by 2050 through economic diversification from the export of commodities of low-tech manufactured products to technology-intensive, higher added value ones. For instance, you might hear that many of our countries are now manufacturing electric cars and motorcycles. We have gone quite a long way as Uganda, and I think we shall support many of the other countries to do the same and also support their market. Uganda's Vision 2040 aims at transforming the country into a family income status by 2040, 10 years earlier than the regional timeline of 2050. And the EAC and national visions of Uganda can be only achieved if there is access to modern, affordable, and reliable energy to drive the desired economic transformation. So some targets have been set to increase electricity access in the region from 25% in 2014 to 90% by 2050. The EAC aims to achieve installed capacity of 122,000 megawatts by 2050, up from 3,965 megawatts in 2014. The partner states have also set energy-related targets in areas of including ensuring universal access to clean cooking, productive use of energy, energy efficiency, increase energy access in displacement settings, and refugee host communities and sustainable mobility. We intend to achieve 65% access to clean cooking technologies, reduce energy intensity by over 50%, and increase access to electricity as to 90%, as I've informed you. If these targets are met, they unlock enormous cross-boundary opportunities for employment, investment, entrepreneurship, and research in renewable energy and energy efficiency. There are many opportunities in different areas of generation, energy efficiency, sustainable mobility, productive use of energy, energy access in displacement settings, etc. And they are spread across the private sector and other academia and other sectors. This would only be possible if the bulk of the population, who are women and youth, are involved. As of 2023, the World Bank estimated that population of EAC was 330 million. Women account for 51%, and they use 78%. So you can see how much you have to do to energize that section of the population. Therefore, the discussion about transboundary opportunities for women and youth is in renewable energy is very timely. The government of Uganda has played a key role to create an enabling environment by developing the necessary policies and regulations, but this must be done together with the population. Some of the things that have happened within the East African community, we have attempted to improve infrastructure development, like the transboundary transport networks. I don't know whether they are aware that we have the Kasongo bypass, which goes from Arusha to Holili, Voi, Taveta to Mombasa, reducing the distance from Arusha to Mombasa by 200 kilometers. If you use that bypass, you cut the journey by 200 kilometers. We also have the soon-to-be-opened Kapchora, Swam, Kitale, Eldoret bypass, which also reduces the distance to Nairobi by 78 kilometers. We also have the Kikagati Morongo hydropower project, where it's regenerating electricity, shared equally between Uganda and Tanzania, 14 megawatts for Tanzania, 14 megawatts for Uganda, and the staff, with Tanzanians and Ugandans are working together. This project is on the River Kagera. So these are opportunities that we are creating for the population. We are looking at supporting innovations, policies, and best practices, harmonizing policies and technical standards which will enhance compliance. We have regular meetings within the East African community to discuss harmonization. It's still a tall order, but we shall get there. We also have investment in human resources. For instance, the University Council of East Africa provides some scholarships for the students within the East African community to undertake professional courses. All these opportunities to improve the human resource of the East African community. The only problem we have is lack of harmonization complementary policies. For instance, there are still difficulties at the border for some of us. Despite Tanzania being our headquarters, they don't allow anyone to go there without a passport. If you go with the national ID, they won't let you into the country. But we are together in the community. So these are some of the things that are problematic, but hope that with time we shall be able to overcome them. Of course, there are also armed conflicts. Our member, the DRC, has been under conflict for a long time, especially in the eastern DRC. You have seen the number of women and children who are displaced, who are moving back and forth on the continent. This is a matter for concern, our friends in Sudan. So all these are problems that hinder development and planning. There's also the difficulty of transboundary connection by road and railway. This is still low. and the maritime transport is equally worse. So we need to invest more in maritime transport so that we can ease the movement of people and the goods. Of course, external shocks like the pandemics, you know what happened to us during the COVID, everything had to stop, and we only, at that time, I think only allowing the transit goods to pass, but otherwise it was a big problem. Maybe the one which we can solve easily is the language barrier. Many times especially the Ugandan traders, when they go to the EAC, they can't speak Lingala, they can't speak Congolese, they can't speak Swahili, yet they're trying very, very hard to trade. And our border is really big, and the interaction is quite a lot. So I'm really happy that last week we graduated the first public class of Kiswahili in Uganda. 350 Ugandans, ordinary Ugandans, graduated from the Swahili-speaking class. And I've been told that now more Ugandans have taken an interest, and 1,000 have registered for the second class. So we are going to continue, and we plan to spread them in the different districts so that Ugandans can have access to opportunity to learn Kiswahili. I would also encourage us to learn French because the DRC and Burundi and other countries are more French speaking, but they are part of us. So in order to be able to access markets and opportunities there, you need to also to have additional languages. So English, French, Arabic, and Kiswahili widely spoken in the East African community. So it would be interesting and very important if we took that opportunity. There's no harm in learning another language. Then our other difficulty is the common currency. The rate of fluctuation at different borders is also high, and our cross-border traders really suffer a lot. Moving from this country, different exchange rate, another border, different exchange rate. We're haggling over the headquarters of the East African Monetary Institute, which will translate into the East African Central Bank. I'm trying to work very hard to make sure that it comes to Uganda, but the Tanzanians want it, the Warundi want it, the Kenyans want it. So we are still haggling over that. But I think when that is settled, we shall begin seriously talking about a common currency for the East African community. And of course, the other thing is that people are insular. I don't think many Ugandans look for opportunities in Kenya or in Rwanda or in Burundi. They look around for opportunities here. So I think we need to help our people to be more outgoing and to be able to check out opportunities in many other countries. So I want to thank our government for addressing some of the challenges and working with other partner states to achieve our goals of integration. And I would like to reiterate that economic and social transformation in Uganda and the EAC will depend on the level of engagement of women and youth in productive sectors of our economy, which can be powered sustainably by renewable energy. The renewable energy transition offers immense potential for ministering them to the innovators, entrepreneurs, financiers, consumers, producers, technicians. Thank you very much for listening to me. I wish you very successful deliberations. I look forward to hear the outcome of this meeting. Thank you very much.
So we'd want to thank you for taking time and coming to grace this occasion. The Deputy Prime Minister is gracious enough to grant an opportunity for 3 questions. If at all there's any person with a burning question.
Okay, thank you very much, Right Honorable Prime Minister. The Deputy Prime Minister of East African Affairs. As young people here, we are so much humbled to welcome here and to speak to us. We recognize your commitment to helping young people, especially young people youth go green. You know, you are our patron. We are humbled for that. I take this opportunity to request you, Right Honorable. There is the Africa Youth Summit in Kigali, Rwanda, and most of the young people here have registered to attend. So we request you through your office to actually provide some support for these young people to join that summit in Kigali.
I would like to commend EACREEE because it is we are partnering with EACREEE to do the pre-feasibility studies and the applications for ERA. My issue about the opportunities we have as the youth in renewable energy is about the most recent advisory from the Attorney General about Memorandum of Understanding. I'm sure you're aware that the Attorney General advised that there is no MOU that is supposed to be signed with any private entity unless you need financing from government. It is provided by the law, and or the president and the cabinet has recommended it. So my request to you is that if you go to the cabinet, we request that let there be a creation of maybe a committee in those ministries which can assess and evaluate the lawfulness of the MOUs that can be done with these entities, such that it gives confidence to the investors. Because in most times when the investors come to give us an opportunity to work with them in renewable energy, they would like confidence from the government. So my request is that if they can have a committee that can assess an MOU and allow us without following the 3 provisions that were recommended by the Attorney General. Thank you.
My name is Kwol Arrow Kwol. I come from South Sudan, and I've been a refugee in Uganda for a very long time. My question is on displaced persons. We have colleagues in Tanzania, and many times it has been very difficult to move from here. Uganda has a very good policy, open door policy, but other member states have been restricting refugees from traveling across the border. And I would like to ask that, does it take away being a member of this community when you become a refugee? I know you may not have an answer to that, but I would like to request that you help us in advocacy, that when a refugee who is a member of the community wants to travel, they should still have, to a certain extent, the privileges of being members of this community. So thank you very much, and that's my input.
My name is Sandra Namialo. My question is on trans-border trade. Kenya has made tremendous improvement and progress in terms of geothermal energy, bioenergy, solar, and there is interest to maybe partner with Ugandan institutions and private entities to bring some of the solutions here. However, the challenge is on the taxes, the import taxes, and my question is whether, as we foster the trans-border trade, as we foster the journey and the growth in the renewable sector, whether there is move to actually have tax subsidies for renewable solutions, or whether we can, given that we are all in the East African community, whether as a Ugandan company we can actually partner with, let me say, a Kenyan entity and cut out the challenges or the high taxes to be for them to actually set up here, and we represent them because they have some interesting solutions. I saw one that they have made for bioenergy, ethanol cooking, which would actually be impactful in Uganda.
Starting with the young man who wants to go to Kigali, I don't know how many you are, but if you could, and also I don't know when the meeting is taking place, but if you could send a letter to my ministry, we'll see what we can. I can't promise anything now because I don't know the timing, I don't know the numbers, but send a letter to my ministry and we'll see what to do about it. Now, concerning the MOU, I don't have the details on the advisory, but the Attorney General was instructed by Cabinet to ensure that anything that is binding on the government has gone through the processes. So it's important that you get the clearance of the Solicitor General, the Attorney General, before you enter the MOU, because sometimes people are not careful what they're writing, and it's after it is done, they'll say, oh my God, did we sign this? You know, and you find you've been caught up in some problems and you can't extricate yourself. So we have to be very, very careful in these agreements, but I'll take an interest in to find out what the advisor is saying, and we shall let EACREEE know about it. Then my young friend from Sudan, I think it's really a pity that you don't have freedom of movement, yet under the Common Market Protocol, one of the guaranteed freedoms is the freedom of movement. But you know, we still have sovereignty by different states. If we're a federation, it would be easy. But now each government has got its own sovereignty, they're protecting their this, they're protecting their jobs, they're protecting their schools and so on. So we still have some work to do on that one. But I'll bring your issue to the attention of the EAC Secretariat and see how we can support our members who are refugees to also enjoy the Common Market Protocol. Concerning the trans-border trade, if a product is by rules of origin made in this country, it should not be subjected to tax. or if it's made in Kenya locally, it should not be subjected to tax. But I would have to get better details about what exactly you are saying so that I can discuss it with the Ministry of Finance and also our committee on finance at the EAC to examine the level of taxation. Otherwise, if they're local products, they should not be taxed. They should not be taxed because that's what the rules of origin say. They are our local products and they belong to the EAC. They are not from Egypt or any other place. So also, if you could write to me, I'd be able to present it to the committee, our committee on finance, to examine how it is done. Sometimes things slip through the window, and we are not very careful. If we are not very careful, taxes are levied, and then we have to come back and say, please remove this tax, this is a local product, and so on and so forth. So thank you so much. I need to go and do some other work.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'll call upon the panelists. You know yourself. Just come in front. We take a group photo with the Deputy Prime Minister and also EACREEE staff. Later on, after she's taken with the panelists, you can come along and we take a group photo before the panel discussions begin.